It is time to finally build that God Squad. Stay frosty and head to buymaddencoins.com for the cheapest, fastest, and most reliable MUT coins on the market. I'll even help you shave off a few bucks. Use code DIRECTOR at checkout for 20% off. Hey, Yoda brothers, what's up? It's the Director. Good afternoon and salutations, Madden Ultimate Team fans. So Madden 21 is going to be the subject of our conversation today. We just saw our first look at Madden 21 a couple of days ago. With rumor, we're about to hear more in the upcoming days and weeks, which is very exciting. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to put in my Madden 21 wish list for Madden Ultimate Team specifically. I do want to talk about franchise, maybe even gameplay in later videos, but Ultimate Team is kind of my passion for Madden at the moment. It's kind of my vice. You know, some guys, it's not really their thing. Some people are really against it. It really is something that I enjoy, and I want to help make it better in Madden 21 if I can. I think we as a fan group, as a game player community, we can help uplift the game in quality ourselves too, just by voicing our opinion. So here's mine. I have a couple of points I want to go over on how to make Madden Ultimate Team better in Madden 21. As we're going through this, leave your guys' opinions in the comment section below as well. If you guys have things that you would like to see integrated in Madden 21, specifically regarding MUT, let me know. And if you want to build on or even counter argue some of my points, that's also welcome as well. Before we get into this video, guys, if you like these kinds of videos, hit us up with a like and sub. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification help me out a lot. Let's get into our first point. The first thing I would like to see addressed in Madden 21 has to do with the Power Up promo. Now, Power Ups, interesting concept, right? They're highly coveted because you can take a card, you power it up to +1, above their best card in the game right now, with the added benefit of like physical chems, changing team chems if it's appropriate, and so on. I'm starting to think that, EA makes it seem like it's really hard to make the Power Up items themselves. Why not just throw away the concept of power-ups? Now, before you guys go crazy, just kind of hear me out. I think power-ups, the ability to power up cards, should still be in the game, right? But I also feel like there are cards that maybe shouldn't get power-ups that do. Let's say in Madden 20, Eric Berry, as much as I love the player, he didn't play, so it's kind of a wasted effort on making an additional card for Eric Berry. There are other cards that I'm sure you guys would agree need upgrades in the game, need power-ups in the game that we still haven't seen. So guys, just imagine with me. What if we got rid of the concept of power-ups, or at least the actual power-up cards themselves, right? And we just used the base card of every player as their power-up item. Okay, so stick with me here. Let's say, let's go to the 75 to 79s. All right, let's take a card that, maybe they had a decent season. Let's say this Adrian Amos. Let's say this Adrian Amos is the first card he got in Madden Ultimate Team, 76 overall. All right, he doesn't have a power-up, let's say. Let's say that this 76 Adrian Amos is his power-up card. The very first card the player gets, their core item, acts as their power-up card. You could put a little symbol or something on there signifying this is the first card you need to acquire in order to start their power-up progression. All right, what does that do? That makes every single card in the game of Madden Ultimate Team power-up eligible. That means if you've been waiting for a power-up item for a specific card forever and they never get one, that wouldn't be a possibility with this theory. All right, so let's say, like, for example, me, I want a Mike Williams power-up so bad. Probably never gonna happen. In Madden 21, if his base item becomes his power-up, then I can power him up as he gets additional drops in the game. Now you might ask, that might create too many problems as far as like, what do they do if you power up, let's say, a gold player into an elite player? There's probably going to be steps in between. So let's say the 76 Amos got an 83 card in a couple of weeks after drop. How are they going to fill that void? Very simple. I think, honestly, and again, the solution may not be as easy as the theory, but there's got to be an algorithm or something, right? Where they're able to determine, how much training point value it takes. Let's say it goes from a 76 to, a 79. It costs X amount of training before you can get to the step to add their new card. There's got to be a way to, like, an algorithm to put that in automatically. And if there's any issues, then EA can come in and do a little housework. Does that make sense? So instead of taking the time to make all these power-up cards, you have to think about how many power-ups they had to make for this. Instead of putting all of that effort into making making power-up cards themselves, you know, just make the base item a power-up card, and then just do a little bit of housework in between if you need to adjust stuff, if there's glitches, if there's, you know, problems with, you know, the power-up costs or the levels in between. You just kind of maintain that instead of creating all of these new cards. And then it also gives us the benefit of having a way to power up every single item in the game. There's my first point regarding power-ups. The second point I have regarding is with archetypes. Okay, and archetypes, I will admit, are an interesting concept that I was really open about when I first heard about it in Madden 20. I was like, that's great, you know, different players play with different styles, and I think, you know, separating by archetype is very appropriate. The one problem is, you take a look here, and I think quarterback is the best example of this. Every archetype comes with its pros and cons, right? So let's say Phillip Rivers, you know, field general archetype quarterback. You can get hot route master, you can get protected, you can get conductor. You know, it really fits what Phillip Rivers is as a quarterback. Then you got other archetypes, let's say like Justin Herbert or even an Otto Graham, your strong arm quarterbacks. The advantages of a strong arm quarterback are almost nothing, okay? Like, what do they get? Gunslinger, which is kind of okay, it's kind of all right, but at the same time, not having things like Hot Route Master until like level 99, not having Escape Artist, you know, on cards that probably should, I think Otto Graham should have Escape Artist in some way. And I think the way to integrate that is by taking players that fit not just one archetype, but two, and making sure they get sub-archetypes. Now, how do they maybe accomplish that? Let's take this Aaron Rodgers, for example. I think a lot of us will agree Aaron Rodgers as an improviser quarterback is very appropriate. But I also think Aaron Rodgers would fit a field general quarterback, in my opinion. So what can they do? I think these abilities down here, they should contain sub-archetypes as well. So let's say Aaron Rodgers, you know, maybe his first two are definitely improviser, and this last one could be improviser / field general. Because I think that if anybody, Aaron Rodgers should be able to get something like Hot Route Master. Those benefits of other archetypes that he should fit should be included on this card. Does that make sense? So again, you know, you've got your improviser, and then the option for field general and maybe his third slot. It has to be included somewhere where you can change or put a sub archetype into a card like Aaron Rodgers. And I think a lot of different players fit these different archetypes, okay? And a big factor for me going into next season, a big reason why a lot of us want this is, one, because we don't want archetypes like strong arm being almost useless, and two, there's guys like Justin Herbert with great speed that you just never will be able to utilize. Justin Herbert should be able to get strong arm and maybe improviser, okay? So we can get the benefit of some of those abilities that we're missing out on. The next topic I want to go over is about the theme team. Okay, we'll take a look at the Chargers theme team. This one's very simple to me. There are cards that we get in every other promo where we're all like, why did that guy get an upgrade? You know what I mean? Like, there's some cards that get upgrades where you're just kind of scratching your head like they were good, but they weren't great. All right. I think they should focus those upgrades, you know, upgrades for specific players in positions of need for every theme team. So, for example, I'm a Chargers fan. Here's my Chargers theme team. The developers, if they would pay attention to what the Chargers need, would take a look at our wide receiver situation. We have Keenan Allen, who's already really slow, and that's it. You know, we've got Mike Williams at 91. That's literally our next best wide receiver. They should be able to say and pay attention to our positions of need and say, you know what, Mike Williams, he's a good player. You know, he's a guy that if we upgraded him would definitely help the Chargers theme team. Let's make sure we put him in the limelight, you know, as a focus of our next upgrade. And there's a lot of different teams. You know, the Chargers have a pretty decent theme team. I'm looking out for you guys with like Bengals theme teams, you know, Dolphins theme teams, Redskins theme teams that really need help in several different positions. And I think if they just kind of focused on those positions, you know, as far as who they give upgrades and somewhat, it seems like randomly, then the theme teams wouldn't seem as incomplete and obsolete in comparison to, like, let's say a 49ers or Raiders theme team. So just a quite quick little constructive criticism there. Just pay attention to the positions of need on theme teams, because we want to be able to run theme teams, and it's become kind of a popular way to play Madden Ultimate Team. But if your team is really lacking on a couple positions, even some guys, they need like, you know, pass rushers, they need linebackers, they need safeties or cornerbacks. You know, just make sure that those positions get filled somehow, whether it be through legends, you know, team diamonds, team builders. There's got to be ways to fill those positions in need somehow. Next up is an interesting one that I don't know if a lot of people have thought about, but it does mean a lot to me, and I think you guys will agree once you hear the concept. Okay, these cards like Jadeveon Clowney. All right, they get that that specific chemistry slot where they can put any team chem in there. I think that these should be removed as far as promo cards. Okay, it does bastardize the concept and the thought of a theme team a little bit, but I think if these are going to be in the game, it shouldn't be through a card that you get in a promo. I do think they have their spot in a different area in Madden Ultimate Team, and that's going to be through cards like this Pat Tillman. I think if they take away all team chems on promo cards, they should put them on the Pat Tillman type of cards, your level masters, your mutt masters, the cards that we grind for. You can see that Pat Tillman isn't even on my team right now just because he doesn't fit my end game squad because he doesn't have Chargers chem. I would much rather have Chargers chem on Pat Tillman, on my Torrey Holt, on my Ryan Shazier, than I would on these random cards that maybe doesn't fit the position of need on a lot of other theme teams. And that opens up possibilities for people with their team captains, your strong safety position, your wide receiver positions. If those masters are moved to, let's say, positions like defensive back, where you can have, more than one wide receiver, this Night Train Lane, an excellent card for everybody. If, let's say, he was your level master instead of Torrey Holt, I think he would be in a lot of people's teams if he had all team chems still. Does that make sense? So I'm hoping that the all team chems get removed from promo cards and they get added to the cards that we grind for. Next up is your Legends promo, okay? Now the Legends promo, I gotta give this to EA, guys. The themed diamonds, that kind of thing where we saw so many new players integrated into the game, maybe lesser known legends, that's amazing. Do that again. Keep that up. Build on that. That was one of the most incredible experiences of Madden Ultimate Team I think I've ever had. But when it comes to the Ultimate Legends and the Legends promos themselves, just make sure that every team is pretty well represented. There are guys like, again, the Chargers theme team, we only got one legend, and that was Kellen Winslow all year, okay? And it does feel like other teams, maybe like the Niners, the Raiders, they get so many legends every single year. It would be nice to see somewhat of a balance. And so just, when you guys, I know it's not really up to them 100%. They have to reach out to every one of these players individually, obtain their rights. But at the same time, it would be nice to have like a LaDainian Tomlinson or somebody else representing the Chargers, other than just Kellen Winslow, who's great, but at the same time, we felt pretty left out. And I know we're not the only team that felt that way. I'm sure there's a lot of other theme teams that maybe could have used another legend or two. And that's just something I would say pay attention to. Again, kind of like positions of need, like we were talking about just a second ago with the theme teams. Just make sure every fan base is well represented, because that's kind of one of the biggest draws in Madden Ultimate Team, at least for me, was the Legends promo. Being able to play with these classic players that haven't been in the league for a while, just make sure that they're all very well represented. The Theme Diamonds was a very good example of that. Just make sure to integrate that into Legends as well. Next up are your X Factors and Abilities. Guys, I do really want to know your opinions in the comment section below about this one specifically. This is one very, very new concept, just came into Madden 20. These new X Factors, these abilities, replacing red chems, are very, very important to the experience of Madden Ultimate Team. And you know what? The X Factor concept, I dig it. I don't hate it at all. I just feel like the balance of these different abilities need to be better spread throughout all items and maybe better maintained, as far as, some of them being super OP, some of them maybe not even working. And it's stuff maybe like this Gunslinger. There's a tiny, tiny advantage to having Gunslinger. But if I had Gunslinger versus, let's say, Escape Artist, I'm taking Escape Artist every single time because of how much more overpowered it is than Gunslinger. And it kind of holds back to what I was talking about with archetypes once again. Just make sure that, the abilities are paid attention to. They're not overpowered, and they're evenly distributed between different archetypes, so that if you have a strategy going in, like I want to be a pocket passer kind of quarterback, make sure that their abilities, match the effectiveness of, let's say, a scrambling card. Because as OP as scrambling cards have been for years now, it would be nice to see like pocket passers come back into the limelight a little bit. And if they had abilities that, spread that kind of advantage, then people would be more inclined to use them. So just better balance out the abilities, I think, is the best way to word that feedback. The last big one I will mention comes down to the experience of gameplay. Now, guys, I know this video is a little bit long, but this is important as well. I want you guys to think about how much money and time you spend on acquiring a team. Now, this is my theme team. My normal team's a 98 overall. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, resources to get a team like that. Okay, now I don't often feel inclined to use it 100% of the time. I would say, 30% of the time I come into Madden Ultimate Team, I log in, I want a competitive experience. 30% of the time I want to jump into head-to-head, match up and really show what I got competitively as a gamer. 70% of the time, I would say, I want to casually play and grind and just have some fun, okay? I want to relax playing Madden Ultimate Team. And you don't really feel that with challenges. I mean, they're there, they exist, they're kind of fun. Solo battles are kind of there too. Head-to-head seasons can get, fun, but at the same time a little bit sweaty. And then Weekend League is very, very sweaty. Okay, I would say the best thing that they've done in Madden Ultimate Team these past couple of years has been the house rules. Now, they're not in the game right now, so I can't show you, but these different modes of gameplay that cater towards more casual fun, I think we need that more than we even know. A lot of guys, you know, we have a lot of pride. We want to go in, we want to beat people, but at the same time, I feel like it's just as important to be able to relax and use the teams that we've spent so much time and resources on to acquire. If we had, you know, house rules in the game 24/7, those different kinds of gameplays that are fun and relaxing, I would be more inclined to log into Madden Ultimate Team more and actually use the team, to be more inclined to upgrade my team, because it does address casual fun and relaxation for me in Madden Ultimate Team. That's just what I'm saying there. I think we should make sure that house rules, that kind of style of play, the kind of stuff we've seen in Superstar KO, there's something like it in Madden Ultimate Team, so we can use this team year-round when we want to be competitive and when we want to have casual fun. I think that's one of the most important things I want to see added into Madden 21, for me at least. And give some incentive too. That's one big thing. I think that a reason why not a lot of people play Superstar KO is because they don't get really much as in terms of Madden Ultimate Team and rewards. So if you do a house rules kind of thing or a Superstar KO kind of thing in Madden Ultimate Team, make sure there's some kind of reward in there, maybe like, you know, 10 trophies or even 5 trophies for every single win, just so you feel like you're getting something out of it, even though it is casual fun. At the same time, it's bringing you some sort of reward as far as your Madden Ultimate Team is concerned. And then I'll just kind of fly through the rest of my points here because this video is a little bit long. So the other things I had listed here are pull rate. I think the cards that you pull in Madden Ultimate Team, the pull rate of these golden tickets, for instance, are way too in the favor of the house. You know, not being able to pull anything almost guaranteed every single time you pull a pack. I think the rate of the cards need to go up a little bit. I think we need better rewards in for no money spent people. You know, I stopped playing solo battles because of bad rewards, okay? And that's just kind of one example. I think if we got better rewards in solos, better rewards in solo battles, there would be more interaction between us, the gamers, and the actual modes themselves. I think presentation has been pretty good, but it could use some work. Things like the missions tab over here became a little bit confusing. And then stuff like promos at times can be a little bit too complicated. Maybe simple them down a little bit. There's always way too many steps to get to the end game goal. Maybe there's a way to simplify that, not have so many hoops to jump through. Well, guys, I know a bit of a longer video today, but I hope it really helps. I hope it starts spreading awareness to what we want to see as a community in Madden Ultimate Team. Remember to share your voice as well. If you guys have concerns, you know, that I didn't cover in this video, put them in the comment section below. If I named something that you're really passionate about, make sure to post about it every now and then on Twitter, you know, Facebook, you know, any social media platform where we can get their attention, just to kind of help build Madden Ultimate Team into a better mode and experience for everybody. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit us up with a like and sub if you did. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. Let's make Madden 21 better together. We'll see you next time, and as always, stay frosty.